Hello. I wanted to do a tier list for new players to help them choose their first tech tree to grind. Uh, I will do this tier list based on how good the tech tree is to learn the basics of the game, not by how powerful they are. So yeah, some lines are really good, but really bad when you are a new player, just because they're gonna teach you some bad habits or don't teach you well how the game works. So right away, Montana line. This is a USPB line. It has great armor, great fire. I mean, great okay firepower. It's just okay all around. It's very vanilla. The line is okay to grind. It really starts from tier 7, I think, or tier 8, around that. Just before it's a bit of a slug because the ships are slow, but starting for tier 8, it's really start to be good. So I would put it in perfect start to start learning. Vermont line, it's a second line of American battleships. They keep the trait of being slow of the low tier, so I think they are more punitive if you start learning the game, because you will be more punished if you don't recognize the situation soon enough to leave early or push. So I think it's great, but not optimal. Like the guns are good, the heal is good, the concealment is good, but it's so slow, and the guns are slow to reload that it takes some patience. And it's slow too. So yeah, it's not gonna. It's gonna be more punitive than the Montana line, I think. The Louisiana line, it's a hybrid, so you get the same guns as Montana, but yeah, you get planes of stuff on top of it. And the gun angles are really bad. So it's gonna be a bit too overwhelming for new players to learn this line, I think. It's bad for learning. The one line is great, but not optimal, I think. In general, cruisers are not great when you start the game because they're too squishy and you get punished super easily by everything, really. So I wouldn't take cruiser line as a first line. But it's still okay. No, it's still okay. Um, if you put the work on it, it's gonna be good. But if you just want to chill, yeah, it's not optimal, honestly. You'll have to learn the hard way if you start with cruisers, and the US cruiser line is not different from that. Same for Worcester. Like it's a great line, but it requires a bit of experience to be enjoyable, especially for new players. Gearing line, it's a good line. Like at low tier, you get good guns, good torps, okay torps, I mean. At tier, it's a bit power crowd, but it's still okay. You get a good smoke, which like lasts super long, but takes a lot of time to reload, so it's okay. Like yeah, it has great conceal, so yeah, it's a good line to start, I think, because you're probably the top dog in low tier, and by the time you achieve high tier, you'll have some experience if you play correctly, so it's great. Now we go to the UK. Um, Conquer Online. It's great, but not optimal. I say it's great because it's very forgiving with the heals. The super heals that start at tier 7, I think, or 8. So it's okay. You get great HE, obviously. It's a nice gimmick, the HE. But I wouldn't put it in perfect because it's gonna teach you to shoot HE with battleships, right? And that's not what you want. Also, they are a bit squishy, but the super heal makes up for it. So I think it's great, but not optimal, right? Because you're gonna spam HE, right? Which is actually learning bad habit. I guess it's a bad habit, but you still go great. So it's great, but not optimal. I mean, yeah. Bad habits is for really ships that make you learn bad habits for the class in general and the game. Like, okay, you can still survive by throwing HE, I guess. Conqueror. A bit of the same as Leslie, but it's harder to use, I think. The guns will be better, the speed too, but it's a bit squishier, especially at the lower tier, like the tier 8, the Rook and all. They get super punished easily, so I think it's not great for new players. Stevenson is great, don't get me wrong, but if you're a new player, yeah, you're gonna struggle to make the most of it out of it. So yeah, I don't think it's really good for laning. Conqueror is probably better, honestly. Minotaur is bad for laning. Super light cruisers. It's really good when you know how to use it, but I see so many players that don't and just get death threat. At any tier, really. It's not just only Minotaur. All the one under it, people trying it for the first time, they just get blown up because they don't know how to position and use the smoke and all. So yeah, it's not a great line to start. This is the Minotaur, by the way, is the light cruiser line of the British. Yeah, no. The Goliath, on the other hand, I think it's great for learning the game because you get great HE. You also get like a heal super early because the British get a heal at tier 2. So it's great for cruisers, right? You get great HE, great AP, great conceal. It's okay overall. Like for learning, it's perfect. You get a heal, you get great HE, you're gonna do some stuff. As long as you don't blow up, you're fine. So I think it's a great line to start. Daring, this is the British DDs. I think it's good. Like even at Lotia, you're never the top dog, like the American line, but you're still okay. But especially you get the fast smokes. Unlike the American smokes, the British smokes last super short. They are super short, but they reload super fast too. So it's very forgiving. And at Aitia, you also get heals, which is really good to learn. The guns get exponentially better. Like at mid tier, you are middle of the pack, you're okay, but at high tier, Daring and all, they start to be really good guns. So yeah, I think it's really good line to grind as the first line. Republic, no. No, 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 no. This line is super hard. The French line. This is the French battleship line. Um, the French line is super bad for learning because they mostly have no armor. Like 32 millimeter armor, I tier is really bad. And you will get bullied by cruisers and DDs and battleships in those ships. Also, you don't overmatch anything. Your guns are smaller caliber than usual, except for the tier 10, which is really weird. So I don't think it's a good way to learn. Also, the tier 7, no, the tier 8 and 9 have front gun only, and people think they can bow tank in them, and it's really bad. Like actually, yeah, you will learn bad habit from it because you have front gun and you're like, oh, I can just sit in front of me and get all my guns. That's great. But no, this line is more of a flankers line, and you're you're not gonna tank anything in them. So I think it's a bad line to start. Also, if you don't get flank, like if you don't get broadside, you're gonna do jack shit in them because the smaller gun just mean like you're even even cruiser are gonna bow tank you and they're gonna cook you alive. So it's a really bad line to start. It's a good line. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a good line to start with. Henry line, it's great but not optimal. This is the one I started when I started the game, and the HE is alright, but the conceal is not that great. The speed is good, the HE is good. You get reload booster, but the heal at tier 9, it hurts, man. It hurts, it hurts. The heal comes too late, honestly. Lower tier should have heal. If you really put your head into it, you can learn, but it's not a great line to start with. The battle cruiser, French battle cruiser, this is a Marseille line. No, but for laning, because you get front guns, and it's exactly the same problem as. You know what? Yeah, It's exactly the same problem as Republic. You get front guns on the tier 8 and 9, and people think, oh, I'm gonna bow tank, and they can't, and they die, and that's it. You learn bad habit. It's totally not a bow tanking line. It's a fast flanker line to get great AP. So it requires a lot of positioning awareness and all. It's a really hard line to use, so no, you will learn bad habit, and it's bad. Don't try this line. Clever line is bad for laning, I think, because it's a full gun line, and people, when you start the game, you don't know how to put your, how to spec your commander, you don't know how to spec your ship, you don't know positioning and all, so a line that relies heavily on positioning and surprising enemies is really bad for you, I think. You can still do great in it, but it's bad for laning the game, I think. But it's Oh, Prosen. Oh, Prosen. No, 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 don't go Prosen. Oh no, this is Schlieffen. Okay, this is a battle cruiser German line. Schlieffen. It's a secondary focused ship. And I'm being honest, you know what? I'm putting Prosen with it. The two battleship, German battleship line are just super bad for you because you're gonna want to rely or think you're invincible, but they have a giant weak spot for their superstructure. So they don't tank for ship. Their guns are inaccurate. Their secondaries are very situational. It's a noob bait. Don't go for them. Like, ah, y- it's just a bad line. Just don't grind it. Honestly, you're gonna do yourself a favor by not going for those. I know it sucks, but no, they suck ass. Don't go for the German baby line. They are really bad. As a new player, it's bad. It's bad. Hindenburg is great, but not optimal. Like, it's the same problem as Henry. You don't get a heal unless you're going tier 9. So all your mistakes will be super punished. And yeah, it just it's just not great. Like I can't justify a new player going for this line over the Goliath line. Because the Goliath is just better at spammer and gets a heal. And you don't get a heal in tier 9 in the German cruiser line. So it sucks. It sucks to grind. It sucks. Inden is okay, but no, man. You're gonna struggle too much with this line. Z52, this is a German DD line. It could be great, but nah, the smoke hydro combo is not great for a new player to learn. And by the time you come to tier 10, this line is power crept. And you're just gonna be frustrated that you can't use your combo hydro smoke combo really often because of tier 10 radar and all. Yeah, it's just getting power crept. They're mostly useless in games. The torps are not great. The DPM is not great. The guns are not great. It's really not that great of a line. A bit of a waste. Elbing, uh, it's the same. Like it requires a very specific playstyle to make it work. So, as a new player, you don't want to grind it really. It just it's gonna be weird to learn stuff. And yeah, no, don't go for this line. Doesn't have video, it's big, it's clunky. It needs broadside to work, or it needs good awareness to at least learn. So no, Golden Lou is great, but not optimal. So Gimmet is okay, but the positioning is gonna be classic cruiser positioning, so it's okay for learning. You get great AA, so at least that won't be an issue. I feel like it's okay in the it's okay line. The heal comes a bit late in the line, but it's still a good line to just learn the game, you know. You get okay armor, better than the others mostly. So yeah, it's okay. Colombo, no, you don't want this line to be your first line because they are super inaccurate and you will rely too much on just random hits. The smoke is great, but it's just gonna be a frustrating line to learn. And yeah, you must have some experience in battleship to make it work. This is the Italian battleship line, by the way. And Golden was the Netherlands line. Venezia is okay. I think the hill comes a bit too late, but the smoke is really forgiving. The main issue with the Italian cruiser line is that at low tier they don't do much, you know. The sap is really weak at low tier, so it's gonna be frustrating, and you can't set fire, so you can't really do much. Nah, at low tier it's not that great. I thought it's great, but not optimal, I think. Rigolo is no, don't go for Rigolo. They are just bad cheap. No one likes them more or less. No, don't even do. They need a lot of skill points to make it work. It's a bit like the German BB line, Schlieffen and Prosen. They need uh, they need experience to make work. Because if you are a new player, you're gonna suck on them. So no, don't go the regular line. Yamato, Japanese battleship line, is perfect for learning. I think it's one of the best BB line for learning because you get great guns at all tiers, great armor at low tiers are a bit slow, but it's okay. You get overmatch even at low tier, so yeah, it's a good line, just a good line. You don't get any special gimmicks. You just get okay great gun with okay accuracy. It's gonna be frustrating sometimes because accuracy is always a bit weird, but you get okay armor, better armor than the Montana line, good guns. No, it's really a good line to start with, I think. Classic battleship positioning, yeah, it's a good line. This is Bongo, great but not optimal. Honestly, if you want to grind Bongo, it's a Japanese battle cruiser line. They're supposed to be super accurate, but with smaller caliber gun than Yamato. Just go for Yamato first. Like, Bongo is great if you already grinded Yamato and have okay understanding of battleship positioning. But as a first line, no. Just grind Yamato instead. Zao, no, it's bad. Yodo, no, it's bad. Uh, yeah, Japanese cruisers are bad. Like, don't even bother with them. Shimakaze, actually a learning bad habit. Shimakaze is the torpedo special Japanese line destroyers. And I see so many new players just get bad habits just because of this line. It's actually crazy. Don't go for this line, honestly, don't. Because the guns are super slow, right? They have shit rate of fire, they hurt a lot, but they take like 7 seconds to reload. They turn super slow, so most players, when they place those ships, the torpedo ships, they just forget they have guns. They rely too much on their torpedoes, and if you want to be a good daily player, you have to use both. So this line takes learn bad habits for new players. They learn bad habits that new players just never forget after. They think they have no guns when they play Shima, and it's just frustrating. Like they rely too much on their sword. Because when they go in a duel with another deity, they privilege, they use in priority the torpedoes instead of their guns. And most of the time they lose that trait because they use their torpedoes instead of the guns. So no, it's not a great line to start with. It's really bad. Don't do this. You learn bad habits. It's bad. This is the Argumo line. This is the gunboat counterpart of the Japanese destroyers. I think it's a great but not optimal line because it's mainly because only the tier 8 and 9 are really worth it. The Argumo, the tier 10 is really good, but it's not that great at tier 10. And all the above, under tier 8, so the 7, 6, 5, and up to tier 1, they are really bad boats. Really bad. Uh, this is why it's great, but not optimal. Starting for tier 8, yeah, it's great. But everything under tier 8 is just bad. So that's why. Also, if the tier 1 to 6 were good, it'd be easy perfect. But no. So I can't put it in perfect because of that. Because tier 6, 5, 7, they just suck. Kremlin, great but not optimal. It's a bit of the opposite than the Argumo line. The low tier Russian battleships are really good, but at tier 10 they become not that great. And this is why. It's a bit of a waste of time because the low tier are good, Sinop is good, but Kremlin is not that great. It's too inaccurate for the meta at tier 10. So no, it's great but not optimal. At least they are easy to play, you know. Neski, great but not optimal. A bit of the same, like it's a cruiser, so it's gonna be punitive if you don't play it right. But it's still a good ship. Like if you struggle with it, maybe take another line. But if you want to just play with it, it's fine. Same goes for Petro. Petro is broken as fuck. It's a great tier 10. And the line is a bit painful to play because it has no heal under tier 9, I think. So yeah, it's a bit of a struggle like any other cruiser line, most of them at least. But the reward is okay. This is Grozovoi. No, Grozovoi is a hybrid. That means it's both a gunboat and a torpedo boat. And it has a heal. That should make it good, but nah, it's just being power crept. It's not that worth it to grind it, so I don't think it's a good line to start. Delny, no, it's just bad. It's a gunboat. If you want to play gunboat, just play the French line, the Kleber line. Plus, it's bad for laning. It's too hard for new players. Castilla is, I think it's okay. This is Spanish cruiser line. It's okay. Like, you get a heal at tier 7, so they are good overall. And up to tier 7, they don't get heal, but starting for tier 7, they become pretty cool. So yeah, I think it's a great line to start with. Cerberus. Cerberus. Easy, easy. Easy, perfect. They get a smoke. So this is really good. It's a heavy cruiser. So you get great guns. You get a smoke. So at lower tier, it helps new player. You can counter submarine easily with special submarine surveillance. They get good DPM. Torps. Yeah, I think it's good overall. The heal come a bit late, but it comes at tier 8, which is better than most cruisers still, but it's still a bit late. But yeah, I think it's perfect to learn. You will probably blow up, but I think it's the best line to learn cruisers. This is a Pan American line San Martin. No bad. It can only shoot AP. Sure, it has heal and all, but you will do no damage if you don't know what you're doing. So it's really bad. This is a Holland line. It's okay. You get great gun, great torpedoes, heal at high tier, sorry. But you don't get smoke. So you will learn trigger management with those at least, because you don't get smoke, you can't just farm in the middle of nowhere. But still a great line, I think, to start with. It's reliable. The torps are great and easy to use. Gdańsk's line is a European line, and I think it's bad for learning because it's more gunboat with a special gimmick, which is smoke and radar. It's super strong, don't get me wrong, but for learning, nah. Just start with something else, honestly. Jinan? Hmm. Jinan. I would put it in great, but not optimal. It's a light cruiser line. It doesn't have a range at low tier, but you can still make it work because you have a smoke anyway. So just don't be at the base and don't just rush in a light cruiser. It's not gonna work. Don't show broadside, you're gonna blow up. But once you get that, it's an okay line to grind, honestly. And Yang, it's okay. It's a bit basically a gearing but with deep water. The smoke is really good. The Asian smoke is like in the middle of the road between UK and American smoke, so it lasts a medium amount of time and It reloads quite quick. Not as quick as the UK, but still quick. So it's okay. The reason it's not in perfect because of the deep water, which are gonna have some game knowledge to use effectively, and you can't just randomly throw them in a smoke of a destroyer to kill the destroyer inside. So I think it's not that great for beginners, but it's okay. It's still okay. So that's it. Grind those lines in particular, and you'll do great basically. And avoid all those lines if you start the game. Those lines are still okay. So yeah, see ya.